Hi, in this video we'll be talking about two simple rules dealing with radicals, radical expressions. That means you got a square root or cube root or fourth root looking sign, right? And how do we simplify those? And we're going to talk about adding and subtracting in a later video. So this is really dealing with multiplying and dividing values. And it's really this simple. See, there's a rule that says if I'm just multiplying, this is only for multiplication and division, which you'll notice that's what all your problems are dealing with, right? No pluses and no minus signs, okay? What I can do is this. The cube root of 12 times the cube root of 18, which is this first problem, is literally this easy. I take 12 times 18, and that's 216. The cube root of 12 times the cube root of 18 is the cube root of 216. Okay? So, sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
Please come to the front doors. If you're attending the UMKC trip this morning, please go to the front doors immediately. Thank you.
Okay, so you'll now notice then what I had to do then to find the cube root of 216 is I took that answer and raised it to the 1/3 power, and the answer is 6. That is actually 6 for an answer. Okay, so in this case we get something nice and neat. And the rule works backwards too. It turns out that if I was starting with the cube root of 216, I could have broken that up into the cube root of 12 times 18, which is the cube root of 12 times the cube root of 18. And it's actually the backwards approach there that I just showed, that's going to be more helpful later on in our problems. Okay? The idea that we can take it and break it apart using multiplication or division. So if I can take 12 times 18 here, it would make sense if I could take 80 divided by 5 here, and that actually is the case. See, that's the fourth root of 80 over the fourth root of 5, and 80 divided by 5 is 16. So that is actually the fourth root of 16. Okay? Now if I take that on my calculator and I say 16 and I raise it to the 1/4 power, curious if I get an answer? I do, it's 2. So the answer is actually 2 in this case. We don't want to circle that one. I don't know why I did that. Okay? The same idea works this way. I could take, if I ever wanted to, and you won't ever be asked to do this way, okay? I could say instead of the cube root of fourth root of 16, I could say it's the fourth root of 80 divided by 5, if for whatever reason that was convenient. You'll never be asked to do that, but I could break it up into two separate cube root or fourth roots, okay? This is an approach you'll never be asked to do. This one here we will be doing all the time in later homework assignments. So just keep that in mind, that I can take a cube root or a fourth root or a fifth root and break it up into two smaller numbers and then break those into their individual cube root signs or whatever root we're talking about. Or I can start with the individual ones and combine them. If that makes sense, then you're ready to go down here and it's your turn.